Hello, YouTube pipers. Double O Pipe here. I'm lighting up a pipe. Carter Hall in my Savinelli Bing's favorite, rusticated, which I like very much. David Calf sent that to me as sort of a Christmas present, I think, and I was very happy to find it in the mail. I bought some of these. I didn't realize how many I was buying at the time. I have 6 on hand now. I thought I was getting 3. And I have a cup of coffee made from beans that David Calf sent me. I've been having fun with these. Excuse me while I put this up. I've been trying to find the correct ratio of beans to water. I'm close. That isn't bad. He roasts a mean bean. So, pipe, tobacco, and coffee, all sent to me by David Calf, Central Cal Piper. And I'm enjoying it. I wanted to come on here and just talk a bit I had a canister or a tub that was emptied out of all the Carter Hall that I had in this one. And I decided what I'm going to do. I watched, who was it I was watching the other day? I remember. I was watching Smarty Bob, and he said that when he gets down to just a few shreds of tobacco, he'll put it all into one big bowl. Well, I thought, hey, I can do that. So I got my empty tub, took off the labels, and took all the little tiny canisters I had that have just been sitting back there forever and dumped them all into this. And I'll read them off to you what they are. Faulkner's Delight, Lane 1Q, Mild English, that's all there was on the tin, J.M. Boswell's Paradise, Sir Walter Raleigh Aromatic, Dan's Blend, Granger, and Prince Albert Match, which is not the actual Prince Albert, but a mixture they send you when you order in bulk. I put on top tobacco mix. I sealed it up with tape, and I'm just going to leave it on the shelf for as long as I can to see how all those flavors mix up. Now, I mixed it as I was putting it in, so I don't know how well blended that batch is, but we'll see. I thought I'd see about trying to leave it for a year and see how it comes out. But I cleared off a lot of those mason jars that I had in the back and tossed them in the trash. because I'm just trying to straighten things out slowly but surely. And I'm definitely a slow person, so you, I'm sure there are a few of you out there who are going, "Oh my God, what's he done? How could he mix all those together? They're not going to be any good together." Who knows? Perhaps when I pass away and I've never opened it, somebody can claim it and see what they think. But I'll keep you updated. Oh my. That's a mighty good cup of coffee. Still not perfect, but it's just my inability to get the ratio of water to bean right. And I've had more coffee today than normal, so I might be a little bright-eyed and I don't know about bushy-tailed, but anyway, I've been enjoying trying his coffee and trying to get the perfect, because it's, however he's done it, it's a mellow but rich blend. And I don't get that bitter aftertaste I get with some of the coffees that I get on the shelf at the grocery store. So I'm quite pleased with it. So, there we are. I think I told y'all the story about me getting my driver's license. Somewhere back there, amongst all the videos, I see I have 196 videos up from a guy that wasn't even sure he'd give 4 to Paladin's request. But 196, I had considered when I got to 200 maybe stopping with that and just putting aside my posts. I think I have 926 subscribers. And it's been there for, I don't know, half a year. I think I've reached my pinnacle. Because I haven't really been posting about pipe smoking. I've just picked up a pipe, started smoking it, and just got on here and run my mouth. But anyway, getting back to get my driver's license. At 16, I was able to drive from 6 o'clock in the morning till 6 o'clock at night without somebody sitting next to me, as you have to with your driver's permit, which I got at 14 and had that and graduated to the 6 to 6 driving license at 16. I think that's the way it was. But anyway, we had a little cream-colored Anglia, which I took my driving test in and flunked it the first time. And the policeman sitting next to me said, "If you can't park this matchbox, son, heaven help you." And I wasn't able to park it. That's that parallel parking. And he's right. That was a small car to be having problems parking parallel. But anyway, after I got my 6 to 6 license, I began to drive to school. And my parents trusted me. I might have been trustworthy, but I was stupid, as most teenagers are in the beginning. Of course, I was pretty stupid all the way through my teen years and through my 20s, too. And I used to go pick my mother up after school where she worked. But this particular day, I didn't have to pick her up for some reason. And we got out and sat in the car, me and a couple of friends. And everybody left on the buses, and everybody that was driving drove off. And it was just us sitting in this little Anglia, which is an English Ford. Lovely little car. Had the stick shift on the floor. I think it had 4 cylinders. And this particular time when I cranked it up, somebody said, "Why don't we see if we can cut a donut in this thing?" I said, "How you do that?" He said, "You turn the wheel and you just put it in first and you hit the floorboard with the gas pedal." I said, "Well, that doesn't sound too hard. I'll give it a try." So there in the schoolyard, I put it in gear. I had it cranked up, put it in gear, released the clutch, and hit the, you know how you do that. Hit the gas pedal, and that thing spun around in a circle, spitting up dirt behind us. And he said, "Okay, stop and let's see how it looks." So I stopped and pulled it over to the side, and we looked at that donut that I had made in the yard, and I said, "Hey, that's pretty cool. I never knew you could do that with a car." He said, "You want to do another one?" I said, "Yeah, I think I do." Well, spent 15 or 20 minutes cutting donuts in the schoolyard. Nobody there to stop us or anything, and I was just tearing up the schoolyard. But the last time I did it, and I was spinning around, the engine was roaring, and all of a sudden it went ka-ting, and it stopped. I said, "Uh-oh, what happened?" They said, "Don't know." Well, I tried to crank it. It wouldn't crank. Somebody said, "Well, why don't you lift the front up and let's see. Lift the hood and let's look in there." Like, we knew anything about engines. I said, "Okay, let's do that." So I jumped out, popped the hood, and looked down at that little engine. Looked the same to me. Didn't see anything wrong. I said, "I don't know what happened." Well, it was getting a little late. We were sitting there with a car that wouldn't start. I walked up to the gas station at the corner. Called home. Dad was there. I said, "Dad, car won't start." He said, "What you mean the car won't start?" I said, "I don't know. It just stopped on me. Won't start." Well, he said, "Okay, I'll come up and take a look at it. Where are you?" "I'm at the school still." He said, "The school? What you doing there?" I said, "Well, we were just hanging around." He said, "Okay, I'll be there as soon as I can. You guys hang on." I said, "All right." And one of the guys said, "You know what?" I said, "What?" He said, "We better push this car somewhere else so we're not in the middle of this donut field." I said, "You might have something there." So we pushed it into another area that was far away from the donut field. My dad got to the school, pulled up to the area where we were, and he got in. He tried to crank it. Nothing. He said, "What were you doing when this happened?" I said, "We were just driving." He said, "Well, I guess I'll have to get somebody to come tow this and have it looked at." I said, "Yes, sir." Okay. So he drove up to the gas station, called somebody to come tow it to wherever he had it worked on. He probably had it towed to the house because he always worked on the car, so I'm sure that's what he did. He drove my friends home and drove me home, and he said, "Ricky, what were you doing in that car to make it not turn on anymore?" I said, "Dad, I was I was cutting donuts in the schoolyard." He said, "What? What is that?" And I explained it to him, and he looked at me. It's that look that he always gave me whenever he was thinking in his head, "You dumbass." But he never said it. He just gave me that look and shook his head. And over the next few days, he worked on it till he finally found that the engine had thrown a rod. And he couldn't fix it. So he, excuse me, he traded it in. And I was trying to think what he got. I think, I can't remember if it was the Ford Falcon or the Corvair. It must have been the Ford Falcon to begin with, because I was driving the Corvair when I was a senior and when I first started college. So he had to have traded it in on a Ford Falcon. And he never really said anything to me other than, "Son, don't ever do that again." I said, "Yes, sir, I won't." I won't. he was he was a he was a good dad. I mean, the early years I remember getting spankings, but I mean I was 16 and he didn't want to give me a spanking, so he just started talking to me and explaining things and saying, "You got to be more adult about things, son. You're growing up now. And we can't afford to buy a car every 2 years for you." I was thinking, yeah, but we can do it for you. Which he did. But then he got transferred, and the newest Ford he had, I can't remember what, I think it was a 60. No, it was a 62. When he got transferred upper state, South Carolina, my senior year in high school, because he didn't want to take me out of school after going through 12 years with all these people I'd known all my life. And he came home on the weekends. And this one particular weekend, he didn't make it home. And we got a call late at night that my dad had totaled his car. He had run into a bridge abutment and totaled the car, and he wasn't hurt, but he wanted us to come pick him up. He was about 50 miles away, and we went and picked him up, and the folks said, you can pick your car up, or you can come. I don't know what it was, but I know we went to wherever it was that the car was towed to, and he was going to pick up all his stuff, and somebody had stolen all his tools out of his trunk. I mean, he enjoyed shopping for tools like I enjoyed shopping for books. But just the fact that he had a life's worth of tools in there and somebody just lifted them. But we thank the good Lord that he wasn't hurt and that we could pick him up, which we did. Yeah, that cutting donuts in the schoolyard was really, really stupid. But like I said, he was pretty calm about it. I was surprised about that. Okay, enough. Thank you, David, for my pipe, my tobacco, and my coffee. I appreciate it. Cheers. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. Thanks for sharing. Take care of yourselves. God bless you. Till the next time. Bye-bye.